Hey everyone, what's happening? Sid Blaize here. A question that I've been asked the most in my years as an artist, and this is not only from fellow artists, but from ad agencies or media agencies, so to speak, and that is how much do I charge, or how much should an artist charge, or how much should a client pay for any particular type of work? And there's no one answer for that. And it really depends on the art itself. But there's two angles that I'm going to hit this question from, and that's from the artist's perspective and from a potential buyer's perspective. As an artist, first and foremost, you have to realize that you are a professional and you have to be treated as such. I can think of no other profession where people are just, they're kind of flaky with that. When you tell people you're an artist, they're like, oh, wow, oh, that's great, oh, I wish I could draw, so forth, and etc. But on a business level, when they ask how much and you give them a price, then all of a sudden they're like, hey, whoa, whoa, whoa. So, and not every client is like that. Some clients are cool, they understand they got to pay to play, and, you give them your price and you're able to move on. But for people who are less educated about the pricing of artwork and services, there's a speech you have to sometimes perfect, or you have to have a response for that, a quick response for that. I normally do not deal with clients that haggle, all right? And that's that client that whatever price you give them, they're like, well, can you cut me a deal? And no, like I said, I'll cut anyone some slack and take the time to explain to them why I charge what I do and what they're getting in return. But beyond that, I'm not gonna, if they're still like, well, and I'm like, okay, it's a wrap, all right? But assuming that you're not dealing with that type of client, but still they're not, they're not 110% up on what, one might charge for this type of work, the answer to that, it really all depends on the artist. A client is not paying for your time. They're paying for the assurance that you are going to deliver the best effort and job that they are asking for. And that's for any professional, a plumber, a lawyer, a doctor, whatever. You're not looking for the cheapest. You're looking for someone who's going to give them your best shot, to make what you spend worthwhile. Because you could spend, less money on any type of service, but it could cost you more in the long run if they do a half-assed job, all right? So again, you're paying for the assurance that this person is going to give you the best, the best end result that you're asking for. So from an artist's perspective, it's important to have a base salary in your mind of what you want to make in a day, okay? You could even slice that into half a day because, some projects don't take that long. And again, the client doesn't have to know how much time you put into any any project that you may be working on, but how long it takes you to do what you have to do in X amount of time. So you could either go by a day rate or you could go by a half day rate. So let's say a half day rate, I want to make no less than $350. Well, that's my base pay. Okay, my base pay is $350. So even if I only work on one job in that day that takes 2 hours to do, I made $350. Naturally, a full day of that, which is twice that amount, is $700. So if I'm working on a single project that takes that amount of time, I am flexible to take it up to that level. All right, and again, it doesn't matter the client. The client doesn't know how long it takes you to do this. Whenever you give a deadline to deliver a job, you're always giving more time than it actually takes. So if a job takes you a day to do, you're not going to give them a deadline sooner than 2 days. So in their mind, it took you 2 days, okay? Regardless if they know they're paying for the assurance and not your time. Still in their mindset, well, it took me 2 days to get this, boom. And if they get it sooner than that, that can come under a rush fee. Again, they don't know how long this is taking you to do. So anyway, so that's my answer. And, and I just like to say that, with 30 years of experience, over 30 years experience doing this, anything I say is not written in stone. So I'm saying for myself, this is my base fee. And that, like I said, would be $350. What someone could think of that as a day, or for me, it's half a day. all right? And I'm not giving away any secrets here to any future clients because, you know, here's what it is. Again, you're paying for what I give you, and that's important because I'm gonna give you the best, you know. So anyway, that's from an artist's point of view. So just to wrap that up, one, you're a professional. You have a set fee. You have a set price. If you want to cut somebody some slack, you can do that. You could give them a fee, and they come back and say, "Well, can you bring it down to so?" And if you go along with that, that's on you. But I just want to tell you something. That client that wants to haggle with you and try to bring down your fee, they're going to be a pain in the ass to get money from regardless. All right, so you really don't want those type of clients. You want a client that when you give them a figure and they say, "Cool, let's do this." Now, something that's important, I kind of put the carriage before the horse. I never tell anyone how much I'm charging without letting them know what they're getting. So I'm just throwing a logo out there, all right? And I did a video on YouTube on my Blaize Vision YouTube channel that addresses the whole creating a logo idea and aspect and how to get it done and get it done right. And you could check that out again on Blaize Vision YouTube. Check that out at your leisure. But let's just say a client asks me for a logo, how much do you charge? I will tell them first what they're getting. Okay, I'm going to let them know that they're going to get a few sketches based on research on what they give me, because I'm going to further research, because I'm the artist. That's who they're coming to. So I'm going to further research and try to get some imagery and aesthetic looks to show the client, and put together some sketches. I put together, a handful of sketches, four sketches, and make sure these sketches are totally different. You don't want to show them variations of the same sketch. What's the point, And I say that once they approve that sketch, then I'll go to the final, rendering. And once I do the final rendering and they approve that, then I'll develop a secondary logo. And again, I addressed this in my video. Secondary logos are crazy important. Okay, I'll throw that in there. Okay, and then boom, I give you a final package, and this will be for X amount of dollars. Now I say I start at $350, right? But if I throw in a secondary logo and if they accept it, I'll drop another 100 on it. All right. Now how long it takes me to do this again is moot to the client, and I'm saying $450 because I know how much time it's going to take me to do this. All right, and I know how much I'm going to average money-wise. I'll probably average, in the neighborhood of $175 to $100 an hour. Okay, depending on how much time I put into it. And to me, that's a decent wage. That is me. Now, there are artists out there who want to charge 3 times that. God bless them. If they can get it, great. But again, I don't like chasing my money down. And when you give a client that type of a figure that's very high, or higher than really what they wanted to spend on it, you're going to have to go through some acrobats to get paid. Professionally, they don't have to pay you for 90 days. They could take up to 90 days to pay you, and I don't do that type of work. So I try to work with a client that will, I try to come with an understanding with a client that I like to, be paid within 30 days. Or rather, I like to be paid in 2 weeks, to be honest with you, because that's how long it takes to process a check. And most clients, I have not had a problem with this. Some clients pay me even sooner with this thing called direct pay. So again, but all of this is straightened out up front. And these are things that, you as an artist, you have to decide what you want. I know some artists who like to work with contracts. Now, I have not done a job that, with so many thousands of dollars, one job, that I would think of doing a contract. If I did, then I would. If I was working on a $10,000 job, yeah, I'd do a contract in a minute. But if you're working on a job that's $1,000 here or less, contracts to me really, it's really not necessary. Once you submit a bill, that's basically your contract. And that's all from the artist's perspective. Just to sum it up real quick, you're a professional. You're not here to haggle. You have a set fee that you have in mind of what you want to make in a day. And that's not what you tell the client, by the way. That's just for you. So once you find out what they want, you got to do math in your head real quick. Well, how many days, how much time this is going to take me to do? And based on your set fee and based on your set salary, then you just give them a figure. Okay, you got to do this quick in your head. It shouldn't be that complicated, all right? Now, from a buyer's perspective, and this to me is very important. Again, buyers, once you give them a price, they're like, You got to express to them what you're giving them, okay? And for a buyer, this is really short compared to the artist. And I express it in the artist, but I'm going to reiterate it here. You're not buying, you're not paying for my time. You're not paying for an artist's their rent. You're not paying for their vacation time. You're not paying for any of that. You're paying for the assurance that they're going to give you the best that they got, and you're going to get what you want. And that's what you're paying for. If you want to haggle or try to, bring them down some, then you're not trying to get the best work. Or you're not trying, you're just looking at the dollar amount. And if you have that little respect for who you're hiring, then you're not going to get the best. You're not going to get the best. Be prepared to invest in what you want. And that's the only thing that I would tell a client. And most professional clients know this. And when I say professional clients that are in the business, they know that whatever they're paying for, they have to be 110% satisfied with. They're more concerned with satisfaction than what they're paying for, because the satisfaction in turn will come back to them. I mean, it'll make the investment worthwhile. It'll bring in the money or the recognition or the attention that they wanted. All right, and that's basically it. I hope I wasn't too all over the map, but again, there's no set answer to how much you charge or how much is charged, because every artist is different, and it's up to the client to find an artist that can do what they want and just deliver. Referrals are the best way to go. And you might think, well, you don't know an artist, but you really do, because everybody knows somebody in some type of art field. Either they're an actor or a musician or a poet, and all of us gather and flock together. So if you know a musician, you know someone who's an artist, and they could refer you to an artist. If you need a musician, you know an artist, that artist knows a musician. So you could search around that kind of way and get referrals of people that can give you what you want. And that's it. I got a lot of information to share with everybody on any particular topic. Feel free to hit me up and ask me questions, because I definitely have an opinion or experience on it. And that's what I'm here for. I want to share this now at this point in my time in life, because I've been there, done that, So anyway, I'll be back, and thanks and peace. Like this video if you made it this far. Take care.